We're gamers. We're talking sports. It's the Gamers Do Sports podcast. Josh, that was a great intro.
Thank you, sir.
I can't. Between the Nicolas Cage looking like Cinderella in the background, you calling these two guys down below me that are waiting to come in here, 7-Eleven replacement
Jamokes.
workers, jamokes. Oh man. I'm AJ at One Lug TV on Twitter. Next to me is Josh at the GDS Josh on Twitter, and joining us this week on the Gamers Do Sports podcast, friend of mine, hopefully friend of yours at the end of this. We have Tristan.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
How's it
How you
going,
doing,
guys?
buddy?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And rejoining the show for his bon voyage, return voyage, whatever you call it, voyage. I'd like to introduce Yoko back to the show.
I'm back.
Kick him out.
Unfortunate.
Kick him back out.
Get him back
Aw,
There we go.
yes.
Okay, show's over. Show's
Tony?
over.
Show is all done over. I am
how
back.
have things been?
Oh, things are things. But I will say it has been pretty crazy at my end. A few people have asked if everything's good. Everything's getting better. Like I said, I've been keeping track of the shows. I've been listening. I'm sure there's plenty of receipts coming and going in this episode, so I cannot wait.
Plenty of receipts. You don't even know the half of it, partner.
I know.
Josh has been.
There will be a lot of
Basking
coming,
in
but maybe
this.
not a lot of going.
It's okay. I lost my hair for this, so let's go.
I know. We made the comment before the show started that you were looking like Gomer Pyle over there.
Hi, Joker.
Yeah, I went from the long flocks and
Hey,
like swinging my hair
Snowball.
to this. Love it.
You think you John Wayne?
That's right.
So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week, guys. NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, some baseball talk. So,
Stanley Cup Playoffs. What are those?
Well, the three of us, three of the four in here know what that is.
All right.
Tony, pick that shirt up again. Oh, it smells choke all over it.
God.
Oh man, it
I
really
thought it felt like
does.
first round.
Do you know?
but
Do you know how Leaf fans say hello to each other?
Well, I mean, if us Leaf fans were into the kinky stuff, we'd be having a great time since we choke.
Wow! And on
Wow.
that note,
Things just got weird.
it's going there.
Hey, so you might be wondering why Tristan and Tony are here this week. Naturally, Cody's gone again. He's our MIA milk carton missing man for the next couple weeks. Ryan's going through
Geraldo's
some
on
things.
assignment.
Geraldo's
I put a polo
on
out for
assignment. Ryan's going through some personal things, and we're gonna give him his space and his time on that. Without further ado, let's get to the week in sports. Kicking off with the week in sports, we're going to do some NBA playoff talk, specifically probably the most boneheaded playoff move I've seen in quite some time. Let's start with the Warriors and Draymond Green doing the kick on Sabonis.
He didn't kick him.
Well, it was a stomp more than
He
anything.
didn't stomp him. He was trying to get his
Oh.
foot out of there.
No, he
all that
wasn't.
was.
That was
Oh my God,
a clear.
no, he
That was the
wasn't.
clear. Like put a mud hole in that man. What do you mean?
How,
Looking like
you,
Stone
how can
Cold
you
over
say
there.
that? Okay, Draymond Green, if there's one thing we've learned about him, is that he's a clean-cut kind of player. To the rules, no questions asked. Real class act.
I'd say safety award. I mean, he's big into player safety. It's
Absolutely.
I'm watching it now.
I think it's him and Adonis Stu together.
He just stomps on DeMontis Sabonis from Sacramento, man. What do you mean? He's literally like any lower, that man wasn't going to have kids.
Well, here's my question. Do we have the ability to play a video on here? That the
I cannot
viewers
play
can
NBA.
see?
I cannot play NBA clips. We will get copyright so quick.
Yeah.
What if we scratched out the warrior symbol?
Put like terriers on there.
No, we'll change like the font.
Here comes the
to,
Golden
like,
State
the
Terriers here with
1988 Warrior movie.
Here
We'll
comes
put that
the
on there.
here comes the Golden State Terriers playing the Sacramento Queens.
That's right.
Man, how can you say that was
Because I watched it from multiple angles.
Tony? You look so baffled down there.
And I am thoroughly convinced that he was just
I am
trying to get
just
his
let
foot
it all
moved.
happen.
Oh man.
Like
Well,
he
I
was
mean,
that was clean.
I mean, it's been multiple playoffs. He's done something and been suspended. Okay. I mean,
It's because they're after him.
Is there going to be some kind of talk? I mean,
The man is trying to keep my
something.
boy Draymond down.
it's all the man's fault.
It's all the man's
Absolutely.
So, like, was he suspended for a game in the finals last year? Wasn't he suspended one game?
Yes,
I want to say he was
think so.
suspended for a game.
He's been suspended multiple times that I don't even know now. Yeah.
I mean, he was suspended.
They
in
need
the
to do something
2016
about him, though.
finals.
Like what? Let him play.
I mean, if you're gonna stomp somebody out, though, I mean that's kind of I don't know. I mean,
He didn't stomp him out. He just tried to free his foot.
He,
Watch your tone about my boy Draymond.
he did nothing that Dennis Rodman wouldn't do.
And I remember when Dennis Rodman kicked a cameraman in the testiclers.
testiclers.
Tony now goes to Draymond as his background this week.
That's right.
You ever just feel like you've been kicked in the stomach by Draymond Green, Tony?
I don't know. I feel
Several
like you're
times.
giving off the wrong vibe, Tony, with a basketball player. We need to get someone more like your speed, like the assistant to the water boy.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, the guy that wrings out the towels, not the one that hands the towels.
Oh,
Oh man.
oh man, that's tough. That
Oh,
is tough.
The way I look at it, you're kind of like radio without the radio.
Josh.
and there it is.
Oh my.
One episode.
Reverse,
from
reverse,
Josh.
reverse.
Jeez,
Oh,
Louise,
God.
Louisies.
You
This guy
knew
brings the
beyond
humor.
a shadow of a doubt that I was going to do nothing but talk smack.
Oh, I mean, it's
Josh.
yep. All right. Well, I will say, in no defense, it is nice to see Sacramento show up in the playoffs. I mean, it's been a hot minute since we've seen that. The NBA playoffs don't do anything for me that much in the first round. So, I mean, the Draymond thing's about as close as we're getting for a topic as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to say the same thing, Tony. This first round of the NBA playoffs is just such a bore fest. Like, I mean, I'm a Celtics fan, and we're easily up 2-0 on the Hawks, and it's probably going to be a clean sweep. And the only interesting thing that's come out of all of this, I thought, is Milwaukee. Milwaukee looked like the team that was destined to at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals, if not the NBA Finals. And now they've lost Giannis for a majority of game one, and now officially for game two, he'll be out. And you saw Monday night what happens when that guy is not on the floor. They don't have enough star power to keep it going.
No, and Milwaukee's very reliant on him. And again, he's one of the best players in the world. So in his prime, and that's why I think it's going to be interesting if they lose him for a longer period of time. But if they can get him back this series, they should be okay. But yeah, Milwaukee's one of the 3 of the 4 teams that I would have picked to win the NBA championship this year. So if they don't have Giannis, you can kiss that goodbye.
Absolutely, Josh.
I mean, Middleton dropped 33 though that game. Okay, first game, and I mean, what? I mean, it helps.
I mean, yeah, they got one player on the
Okay.
court who can score. Okay, where's the other 4?
MIA in a milk carton? I don't know.
Are they out of it? Who knows?
Can I ask a dumb question? This is how much I paid attention. Who are they playing?
Heat.
Milwaukee, the Heat.
Yeah, who's Milwaukee?
They're
even
playing
playing?
Miami.
The
They're
Heat.
playing Miami.
The
Okay.
Heat, who lost their first playing game and then beat the Chicago Bulls in their second playing game to get here.
So Miami's got a couple players, right? They got Butler, Tyler Hero, Ben Ajayi.
Hero, not Hero. Hero.
Oh, okay.
God.
I'm just saying this is off of basic, just off top knowledge. So I mean, they've got a solid squad, and
Yeah.
I've always respected Eric Spoelstra. I think he's always a solid coach. So I mean, they're not really losing a scrub team at least.
He might be the smartest playoff coach right now.
You think so?
Spoelstra, maybe. Josh, what do you got?
To be honest with you, when it comes down to the NBA playoffs, I learned about it on ESPN because, to be honest with you, I knew the Bulls weren't going to go anywhere, and I refused to cheer for the Lakers with the Queen James on there. The only thing that I'm enjoying is watching Kevin Durant play and Russell Westbrook meltdown. Like, did you see the clip that was circulating this week of Russell Westbrook going into like a suite or something like that?
Yes.
And talking shit to a fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what kind of a punk do you have to be? Like, I hope that by some miraculous miracle, somehow, some way, this very small podcast makes its way over to Westbrook so he can hear me call him a fucking bitch.
Oh.
That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry. That dude sucks. He needs to retire. He's garbage. And he's a garbage human being as well. And I could care less what goes on with him, what his family thinks, or what anybody else thinks of him. I think he's a scumbag. And I'll be honest with you, I would have handled that a little bit different than the fan actually handled it. The fan handled it with class because his kid was sitting right there. I'd have picked up something that wasn't nailed down, and I'd have thrown it at his ass. And shit would have went down.
You would have went on ESPN at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
There would have been shit flying if he'd have came in there and told me to watch my mouth. Watch my mouth. Watch the fucking ball. Try to put it in the net, you douchebag.
I mean, I think it's a common theme. Westbrook's always kind of been a self-absorbed player. You know, you look at...
Yeah, but when he was good, we were able to give him an excuse for that. Be like, oh, well, that's just him. Now, no, dude.
No.
Go away.
It was wrong. I mean,
but this isn't the first time it's happened. Like, he has a history of this. Imagine if this shit went on in the NFL. Imagine what Roger Goodell would have done. It's because that little worm Silver, I forget his first name.
Yeah,
Adam Silver.
Adam.
He's a worm, dude. He has no backbone. You can see that dude is literally just flesh and eyeglasses.
Bro, does he not look like the generic, like when you go to create like a wrestler or
Yes.
like a
Yes.
superstar?
Yes.
He just like looks like that default everything.
Yes.
He's the
Yeah.
Wish.com Vin Diesel.
Like those old SmackDown Here Comes the Pains, like the base wrestler you'd start off with before you started.
Mine
adjusting him.
always turned
Looks
out
just-
looking like Randy Orton.
That's
never understood it.
with him.
Slinky Silver comes out with this little.
Yeah. I mean,
It comes out like a bobblehead.
Like,
in the third pick.
God.
2045 NBA draft.
He takes the suit off and he's just a worm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so real quick, what Josh was pointing out. When they were in Philadelphia, Westbrook pointed out that fan. He like directly pointed at him and wanted him kicked out. So he has had a little bit of a history. He's very he doesn't deal with fans very well. Put it that way.
Have you seen the guy off the court? He doesn't deal with fashion very well either.
You know what? I know he's got questionable fashion choices, but
He walks around
I've
looking
heard
like
he
a
was top
Tekken
10.
created character.
Tekken creating
yeah.
character.
Well,
I
you know
like that.
what?
That's good.
God bless Tekken, but that's a totally different story. No, I'm with you though. Like
Hang on.
the Westbrook confronting the fan. Some people were applauding him, but I'm like, listen,
No.
you know how many times you get heckled as a athlete? As long as you're not saying like derogatory, like racial
did
slurs or nothing.
Russell
who gives-
Westbrook have a little
Yeah, if I called him
meltdown?
Westbrook, what is he gonna do? Come at me, and be like, "Don't talk crap." Like, come on.
That's what he
Hey,
does, though.
I'm
That
sending
is
you guys a
exactly what he
picture.
does.
For the Adam Silver comment. Tell me that's not Adam Silver.
Where'd it go?
Turtle.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. 100% yes.
That is Adam Silver. We've
Turtle,
got the first
turtle.
round pick, goers.
No, I mean,
Oh
I agree
my
with you
God.
guys. I think Westbrook's always been kind of this self-absorbed, self-centered player. He's got a history of this. I mean, how many times have you seen him go at it with fans? The absolute only thing I'll say that's going to sound like a defense of him is put yourself in his shoes. Have some random person you've never met before in your ear all day while you're at work, just heckling the shit out of you. Like after a while, gonna get a little pissed off, and you're gonna respond as such. I don't think there's too many people, whether you're a celebrity who makes multi-million-dollars a year or you make multi-quarters a year.
That's my that.
I feel that.
Yeah. Like you're enough's enough at a certain point, right? And I think we'd all have the same response because in the end, we're all human. We make mistakes like that. We have actual emotions. So
I honestly think heckling is least. I don't know how to word it, but like at least towards some athletes back in the day. I hate to use that term, but like in the 80s and 90s, the way basketball was, the heckling back then was pretty harsh, and they didn't give a crap. There was one ear and out the other. I just think today's athletes hear everything, they see everything. Social media has a lot to do with it.
Social media is a big deal with it.
Yeah, if you get clowned on there, and then you're going to a court and you're hearing it, yeah, you're right. Some humans take it the wrong. It would be a little bit more defensible if this was the first time off and Westbrook went out and said, "Yo, I had a bad day. This guy got to me. I'm sorry. Like it was too much." Fine. But this is like the 4th, 5th time he's had it like this, and then sitting there saying that fans don't know anything about respect. Timeout. Yeah, we do. A lot of us are pretty good with it. It's just a few bad apples is what you're going to point out, just like anything else. Don't put all the fans in the same boat because we're not.
You think sometimes as like a spectator that like some of us overstep that sometimes and
Oh, absolutely.
I mean become too involved in it?
I think also the biggest thing, and this is not for everybody, but some people take their 2 factors. One, you might have a few too many drinks, or you think you're all right, but then you get your flow and go, and you kind of say stuff off the handle where you're like, oh crap, I had one too many, and I was like being an idiot. And then there's people who take it way too seriously, like real life. If something happens, that's what they think of their sports teams, and it's like, guys, take 5. Like it's okay. Like there's people I can't stand. There's teams I can't stand. Watching it from the heat of the moment's one thing, but then you go back with your normal life. And I just think some people don't have that. I've seen people when I'm on social media, even about my hockey team, which we're going to talk about pretty soon, take it to the level of like 10 of one game. They take it to 10, and it's like, guys, it's okay. I don't think people have the mentality like, just I'm going to watch a game. I can get emotional about it for a minute and let it go. I just think some people take it to like 10 way too often, and it's like it doesn't help when you're around a bunch of people either. You know,
and like that's all of your hard or.
Well, of course.
I mean that'll get into a fight over if you say something about somebody.
And that's a great point. And like it also just depends on the environment that you're at. Yeah. Nicolas Cage and the Seven Dwarfs also agrees, but I will just say that
it's gonna be the many faces of Nicolas Cage over there tonight.
Yeah. I will say, Tristan, I have a 4-year-old daughter, and I would not take her to an NFL game. No. I would not take her to some of these like professional like events right now because
you're broke.
And
I tell you, and none of us can afford to go.
I tell you where you can take your daughter to. Take her to a Detroit Tiger game, because if you saw the attendance there yesterday, you would have no chance of seeing a soul other than what's on the field.
I'm telling you, she could have ran around the entire aisle, and it would have been fine. I was babysitting her while watching baseball. You know, that's what it would have been.
They might have signed her, too. I mean,
well, it's better than
the Tigers. They might have signed her. I mean,
it's better than the Reds. You heard about that. They were under 9,000, like either today or yesterday.
We had 300 in our first game yesterday.
Is it a day game, though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was 12:30, and it was like 40 degrees.
I'm not going to take off in the middle of a day just to go
watch some shitty baseball.
No, I've been to day games for the Tigers in April. You can sit anywhere, really. Just buy an upper deck ticket. You can sit a few rows in the upper deck for $10-15 and watch a game. It's really not too bad.
I mean, $10-15, they might as well give you the ticket at that point.
Right? You'd feel that way.
It's bobblehead day.
Hey, when they won 5 in a row, it felt like going backflips because my Tigers team's not good this year. I know I haven't had a chance to come on here
since Prince Fielder left. You guys have just been atrocious.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to be on for talking baseball, but
I think they had a little bit of time after Prince Fielder left.
I'm sorry,
we
Verlander.
had
I'm sorry, Verlander.
our last playoff was against Baltimore, and we got swept. And that was, I think, David Price's last year, and so that was a while ago now. And my kid took the monitor and chucked it. Anyways, I'm going to continue to talk. Yeah, like the MLB is, and then, you know what? There's been some really good stories. So, like, I don't want to poo-poo it, but I have not had a chance. Obviously, I've watched the shows, but Tampa Bay Rays, hey, congratulations. You've kind of fallen a little bit back to earth after beating up on every bottom-feeding team.
I think they still only have one loss, Tony.
I thought they were like 1-3 in the last 4 now or something.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's keep on this and then just stop me if you hear
we're good.
something that you want to talk about. 76ers are up 2-0 on the Brooklyn Nets. Shocker. The Cavaliers and Knicks are tied at 1. Who cares about that series?
I think that's a series that's showing a lot of up-and-comers.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the first-year playoffs.
Yeah, there's really no star power in there to really be that interested.
Except for Jalen Brunson. I mean,
in it.
Who?
Only Jalen Brunson.
That's the guy in Cleveland, right?
No, the guy from New York.
Yeah, see, this is my non-basketball knowledge.
Yeah, played for the Mavericks for like.
That's right.
And then
I was going to ask a question
like
on
coach
the Brooklyn
over there or something.
Okay, on the Brooklyn series, can anybody name 3 Brooklyn Nets players?
I actually can because they were former Maverick players.
The Rays are 3-3 in their last 6.
Okay.
Continuing on, Denver Nuggets, they're up 1-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Another up-and-coming team, by the way, Timberwolves. Grizzlies or Lakers are up 1-0 on the Grizzlies. I still think the Grizzlies win that series.
Please.
You do?
Please.
I know.
Sacramento, Golden State, Kings are up 2-0, like we said earlier. The Suns and Clippers are tied at 1, and that'll do it for your NBA playoffs.
Could I throw a quick NBA question before we move on?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So they had brung up this question to the anti-LeBron people in this room. If somehow, some way the Lakers win, does it change your mind about LeBron James?
No.
Okay. That's all I need to ask.
I'm a big LeBron guy because I saw. I mean, like
mute this douchebag.
No, Josh, shut up. It's my turn.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
This is my show.
I'm
you are not allowed to be a LeBron lover.
LeBron James.
God, it's like Rent a Ryan.
The man missed 30 games this year. They're borderline 30 games this year.
The dude is 38 years old, still playing as if he's like.
What does it change? What does it change? If he wins, does it change my opinion on him? Like, he's not gonna win. He's gonna lose either this round or the next round. If he wins, does it change my opinion on anything? No. He's not elite anymore. He's not the best player in the NBA anymore. He's far from it.
Probably not even the best player on his team.
Well, the other one's made of glass, so we'll see.
Well, when he's on
is also made of like.
I think if LeBron did win the title, he'd be number 2 behind Michael Jordan for me. But I don't think
it's
he's
impressive if he wins it. I mean,
absolutely. If you're 20, you can put up stats as one of your top 2 guys and win a title. That notifies me. Wow, it's disgusting. It's pretty damn impressive. But again, I have him 3rd behind Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan's still my GOAT. But like, LeBron's still an all-time great for me.
Is he still like in his prime though? For like age-wise, I mean.
I just think he's gonna. Yeah, I just think if he keeps playing, he's gonna fall off a cliff. Like, his body has been in incredible shape, just like Tom Brady's was. But like, eventually, it's gonna have to go.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
He's trying to hold on so he can play with his son. Like, I really think that's what it. Yeah,
I said this earlier because I feel like he's like, okay, if I can play with my son, and then. If we both also, I mean, if we do a championship, then
I knew he was going to say that. I just had a feeling
know.
that that's where you were going with it.
I like the
Yeah.
special effects that there's lightning outside.
I
of your
feel
house,
like that
Josh.
though. I think
Yeah.
that if he wins one, he'll be done.
Yeah, if he
Here's
wins
the
again,
thing.
if he wins one, I only asked the question because I've seen some people say if he could do it this year with this Laker team in year 20, it might change their mind if they had like doubts of him being one of the best to ever do it. Some people are. I think you're on your island already. You either think he's one of the best to ever do it, or you think he's overrated. I don't think there's an in between anymore. I really don't.
Time out.
Don't either.
I don't think he's overrated. Okay. I just don't agree with the notion that he's a top 3 NBA player all time. I don't. Top 5, I'll give you. I'll give you top 5. I'll give you bottom half of the top 5.
Who's your top 5?
I think Jordan's better. I think Kobe's better. I think Bill Russell's better.
Wilt.
I think Kareem's better, and I think Wilt is better.
You know what the biggest issue though that I like have is if you said like somebody is like the GOAT. But
I think that's overused.
Eras are so much. I mean,
Oh yeah, eras make basketball too. Like, look at the
Bill
eras.
Russell's playing with a bunch of farm boys. I mean,
Well, and
So
yeah,
Bill Russell's got how many rings though?
yeah, I know that.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a part of the group that says if you gotta be considered a greatest of all time, have to have the rings to back it up. And I'm not talking about 2 or 3 or 4. I'm talking about 6, 7, 8.
there's a guy in Fox Sports, Jason McIntyre, and that boy is so biased towards modern NBA. Like everything else is. He said Bill Russell's not a top 50 player in this era. That he's basically just all he was rings with a great team.
This era that doesn't play any defense.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I disagree with him. Trust me. It's just he said Michael Jordan didn't have real competition compared to LeBron. Like, it's just when you see the eras and you're just focusing on one era of basketball and saying everything else doesn't matter, like you're gonna be blindsided when it comes to sports topics.
I mean,
too. Bless you.
It also did take.
Thank you.
I mean, Pippen going to Chicago for Jordan.
And
throwing
Pippen left
there
Chicago and
as,
didn't win crap either, though.
I mean,
Bro,
I'm throwing Pippen up there. I'm sorry.
You're
sorry.
Really, like
I'm a Scottie Pippen.
Odor.
I like Scottie Pippen. I'm just.
All right, wait. Where's Scotty on your list?
I'd say top 5.
Oh, wow.
What's your
I
top?
would say
What's
top
your top 5? I'm sitting here with fucking bated breath.
Obviously, Jordan is in the top 5. I'm gonna say, he's like top dog in this.
That's fantastic.
then-
Next one.
And then Bill Russell. And then I'd say Kobe. And I'll put in King James.
King James. I bet you eat your sucker on your stomach with your feet kicked up, don't you?
I don't actually.
God. Good Lord. You would drop to your knees and smile like a donut if LeBron was in the room, wouldn't you?
I'd be excited. I mean,
You'd be on your knees barking like a goddamn circus seal.
No.
Tristan, you know what's funny? Is you have him 5th and I have him 3rd on my list, and he's clowning you more than me.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
because I have years clowning you.
True. And LeBron's will always be better than Kobe, so sorry.
I don't know, man, because man.
All right, enough of that.
Thank you.
Enough of that.
Enough of
Thank
that.
you.
I've about had enough of the
Thank
Kobe
you.
slander.
I'm back.
I've about had
God.
enough of the Kobe.
You're the
slander.
genital herpes of our fucking show.
Hey,
right
you know
when
what?
we clear you up, you show back up.
You know what? You had a quiet dude. Now you got a loud dude back. I'm
Ryan,
sorry.
come back.
Okay, so
Ryan,
where's
come
Shaq
back.
on your top 10?
Can I
We-
have a whole separate list for big men,
No.
please?
Yeah, because
they-
Shaq's top 10.
Well, then by
I'd
that
say Shaq is top
accord,
10.
we'd have to put Kareem and Bill Russell in
Mutombo.
that actual
Mhm.
characteristic. Like
If
what
you
really
count
bothers
college,
me
Kareem's top
is
5.
what bothers me is everybody will give you their top 5, and no one will throw Tracy McGrady in there.
Injuries, man. Injuries. It's the only thing I would say held him
Iverson,
back.
Iverson over McGrady.
Also,
I
Tracy
think that
McGrady never. Go ahead, Josh.
I think that if somehow Iverson went to the Lakers and teamed up with Kobe, he would have had multiple championships. I think that combination would have won more championships than even possibly Shaq and Kobe.
I think that had complemented each other.
Oh my God! Have you ever seen two really well-rounded street ballers play that have chemistry together? You can't stop it, no matter what you do. It's they find ways. They find cuts that you don't know are there. They find paths to the basket that you didn't even know were possible. And having those two with those two egos bouncing off each other, oh, that would have been great.
I think, real quick, Allen Iverson, when he carried the 76ers to the finals, was the most impressive one-man finals carry of all time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, they won a game. Like, that Laker team was undefeated until the finals. The only game they lost was the one game against Philadelphia. That just shows you how incredible that feat was for them to go there, beat them once, give them, I think, one good game, and then they just ran out of ammo because that Laker team was just disgusting.
Yeah, no one was beating that Laker team.
Those years where Iverson had rookie Carmelo, too, were pretty good.
Yes.
Then he went to the Pistons for a year.
I don't know. I felt like his career started going down when he went to Denver. But based on what you said about it was pretty bad with the young Carmelo, I kind of sway to your side on that. But
they were in several Western Conference Finals.
Philly AI was better than to be honest with you, I think he gets credit for. Like how good he was.
Absolutely.
If you actually check out the all of the scores from that AI versus Kobe, it was super close. They didn't own them or anything. It was actually a really.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll be 26 here soon.
You young pup.
Yes, pup. Josh, we're the oldies in this.
We really are, bro. We really are.
We're mad. We're 40.
Because I remember
we're 40.
Right. I remember watching that series as it was happening.
Yep. NBC, baby.
To my memory, I don't think I've ever seen Kobe more kind of zoned in on a player. And why I'm saying that is even though he was zoned in, man, AI was still running on him. That's why I'm saying, like, for that kind of caliber, can you imagine those two playing together? That would have been sick.
It would have been disgusting.
Yeah.
I love how that's how NBA has started. We went from like modern NBA to past talk to it's like how it is. Hey, modern NBA. How much we care about you. Thank you.
Yeah. It's because it's like they're clout chasers now. They're not in it to win. They're not in it to get a championship or to best, their opponent. It's all about street cred.
Got the best, Instagram likes and
buddies. The buddy system of how we link up and and I get it to an extent. Like it's cool in one aspect. Like I kind of like to see super teams once in a while, but at the same token, it makes the regular season unbearable unless you're a diehard basketball fan.
Everybody thinks that they got a super team, though. That's the thing. It's everybody thinks, oh man, my two top players, it's a super team. Who else is on your team, though?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tristan, if somehow, because I'm a Pistons fan, they get that Victor Wembanyama, or whatever his name is, the tall guy.
Yeah.
Him, Cade, and Jalen Ivey, I guarantee you I'm going to hear that super team. And I'm like, calm down. Like,
yeah.
It's just, you're right. It's how it's going to be. You get three players, you're a super team. But look at the Nets. They had Kevin Durant, they had James Harden, they had Kyrie Irving, but they had egos. All had mega egos.
I will say
what comes with it.
I've seen him play like here in Dallas and everything now. Okay, with Doncic. Yeah. And it just ain't it. I would honestly, I don't know. It just doesn't. It ain't
Dirk
good.
was
They
the
don't.
man for you boys for the longest time.
And then
Dirk
Jason
was
Terry. I mean,
Yeah.
we,
Dirk,
they-
Jason
they-
Terry, Jason Kidd. That
No,
time
no, no,
was-
no, 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 no.
No?
I have a bone to pick with Jason Kidd right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. His big men, all of his good big men are on our bench.
Well,
And
see, now
know
I
why.
was thinking Jason
don't
Kidd
know
the
why.
player. You're thinking Jason Kidd the coach. I
Yes.
forgot he was
And
your
I've been
coach.
waiting on this all day for this conversation because
Oh,
I am anti Jason Kidd right now because
Okay.
I mean he is a horrible coach. Okay. And it's been time after time. Horrible coach. Horrible. And I mean
yeah.
why?
I always remember him getting good teams and not doing anything with them.
Yes.
That's how I remember Jason Kidd the coach.
I don't
Brooklyn,
get it. I mean,
Milwaukee, I believe he had a decent team and they do crap with them.
yeah.
Now Dallas.
And I say time to cut ties with Jason Kidd. Okay, next topic.
All right.
That topic
Well,
now.
since Tristan's running the show now, our next topic is the NHL playoffs. Please settle down. This is your show. We're gonna do the NHL playoffs.
Love it.
All right. Starting things off, I am gonna go through each series and what they're at, and then we'll just go into some NHL stuff.
Yay.
Seattle leads the Avalanche 1-0. Boston leads Florida 1-0. Minnesota leads Dallas 1-0. Tampa leads Tampa leads Toronto 1-0. Winnipeg leads Vegas 1-0. Carolina leads New York 1-0. And the Devils lead the Rangers 1-0. And the Kings lead the Oilers 1-0. What has been out of one game in each series final at this moment in time? What has stood out to you guys?
The Blackhawks no show in the playoffs.
There you go, Josh. I love that energy. Keep it up, Tony.
Well, I'm going to go with the nice story, which is Seattle's first game ever in the playoffs. They won. That's the first time they said, I believe, in modern history. I can't remember if it's ever happened or modern history.
You said Seattle?
Yes, Seattle. And it beat the defending Stanley Cup champions. So, again, kudos to them.
They unleashed the Kraken.
They unleashed the Kraken. Again, Seattle did it the right way. And in year two, they're already in the playoffs. You've got a nice little squad there. But we got to talk about my Maple Leafs.
No, we don't.
And, man,
Yeah, no, we don't. We really don't.
We really don't.
Well, we might have to because here's what I have a problem with. And this is
Do you have a problem with doing a boneheaded elbowing that ensues to 3 goals to make your team lose 7-3?
Yeah, well, and Bunting got suspended for 3 games because of it. And that's part of my issue. So
Stick with the rabbit punch.
I will just say, I think it's funny that Maple Leaf fans are trying to blame Wes McCauley, who is a known.
I saw this.
Yes.
I saw this on Twitter last night.
That he is supposedly a known hater of Sheldon Keefe because he went against his brother-in-law or something in some sort of case or something. This was a long time ago. So Wes McCauley has a bone with Sheldon Keefe. And apparently in the last 7 or 8 games Wes McCauley has called, the Leafs have lost. Can I just say, shut up?
I saw a tweet that said well, now that we have the Wes McCauley loss out of the way.
Right. But so did Wes McCauley do the elbowing? Did Wes McCauley do the slashing? There's just something that, again, do I think the refereeing was a little off base last night? Yeah, a little bit. The goal that supposedly went in that everybody saw, but it looked like on 3 different camera views. But that didn't matter because the game was over with. I just don't like the fact Toronto let up 7 goals, and it's the ref's fault. You let up 7 goals. It was not like a 3-2 game. It was not like this controversial. It was a 7-goal you let up, and you're blaming the referees. Could you just stop it, okay? Last year, Toronto won game 1 5-0. They lost the series in 7. They lost this one 7-3. The series is not over.
Oh, so this means your guys are winning in 7 is what you're trying to get at.
I said Leafs in 7. I'm not counting series over yet. Where's our friend Dave saying he wants Tampa to win? Because hello, hey, you want to reverse curse? I would love that anytime now. And just again, things happen. When you elbow somebody in their head, you're gonna get suspended. If say somebody from Tampa elbowed Mitch Marner or Austin Matthews in the head, I guarantee I'd go to Leafs Twitter, suspend him. But because our guy did it, it's bullshit. It's Wes McCauley's fault. Stop. Just stop. It was a terrible game. Just move on. Try to win game 2. And if you lose game 2, I'm going to hide in the corner because I think it's going to get ugly. But we're not going to think that far. So that's my opinion. My team's just what they are.
Can I say that what has impressed me and what stood out to me is nothing that, my team has done, and I'm not going to take the homer aspect of it. I'm going to take the actual professional sports podcast host approach to this. Last night, Jets Morgan Barron required 75 stitches after taking a skate to his face, and he returned less than a period later.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, if I so much as had got 5 stitches, my ass would have been calling out of work for a week. This dude gets 75 and is back in minutes. First off, very impressive for the trainer in the back who did 75 stitches in less than a period. Like, that's impressive.
It's game 1, and my man said, "No, stitch me up. I don't care how many."
I am looking at this guy, and it looks like those old hockey goalie masks. I can't remember who had it, where it was all the stitches around the mask.
Oh yeah.
That is exactly what this man looks like, all patched up. My God, the balls of steel on that dude. Impressive.
100%.
100%. Impressive.
How about you, Tristan?
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. Let's talk about this whole Joe Pavelski thing that you were so kind to message me about. Yesterday.
We will. Yeah. Okay, Matt Dumba. If you ever see this, you better keep your head up, bud, because it's gonna happen the same.
It's a fight on site.
It's a fight on site. I'm talking. We're gonna be jersey pulling. No.
He's gonna whip the shit out of you.
Yeah. That.
He's like, yeah.
I'm gonna rock him and sock him. Anyway.
And your head's gonna look like the little robot when all's said and done.
Okay, my biggest problem is.
Oh, can't wait to hear this.
It isn't the hit. Okay. It is that the Dallas isn't a overtime team. Okay. I've seen almost half of our games have been overtime this season. And I'm not sure, but it seems like as soon as we're going good, everything falls apart and then overtime. I think that they need to just end them in 3. Okay. I'm saying 6. I think it'll be Dallas in 6. And I mean, I think that it's a good team. It is a good Dallas Stars team, but Minnesota's really good too. But
yeah, they are.
I think that just a bit. I think they're better. I think Dallas is better.
Man, we took a long journey to a short point.
It's fine, Josh.
God. I was trying to follow you, and it's like
you sit at home. You and Jonathan Tays can both
just right off into the sunset.
Sit there right off into the sunset. Okay, it's fine.
I have no words for that.
Oh, here we go. Hey, Tony. I'm just gonna take us out real quick. Hang on.
Yes, Josh.
Huh. Something about you, bud. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
It's fine.
I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna enjoy the playoffs, and you just enjoy your couch, okay?
Yeah,
Wow.
something ain't right about you. That's what I'm gonna call you for the rest of the show.
Something ain't right.
Is
This is
can't
something
get
ain't right.
right.
You can't get right.
Because you can't get right. I do live in Texas.
Yeah.
You do?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Oh, nice. What part of Texas?
I'm in Dallas.
Dallas. Well, you ever see the movie Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
You have?
Many of times. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have Gomer
Okay.
Pyle right here.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what they say about Texas?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And I don't see
Easy.
you mooing. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I feel like I gotta sit here like I wish I had a dump button every time Josh starts talking.
I'm
I just
moderating.
hover my hand over that dump button. Like we're getting dangerously close.
He's gonna say it.
I'm being nice.
Here it is.
Nice.
Oh no!
No. Oh no.
I'm being nice. You know, you're a guest. You know, you look like you've gone through life with a lot of old ladies saying, "Oh, bless your heart." So I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna give you that win.
Tristan, can I give you just a little bit of advice while you're here on the show?
Sure.
The best thing you can do to get on Josh's good side is just make fun of Tony the whole time.
No,
like Tony,
no. Tony's our bitch. He ain't community bitch.
Community.
Just those times where I really need that dump button.
Love you,
It's
buddy.
right there. Right there. It's like you said like 2 seconds ago, like I'm gonna be nice this week, and then it all went to shit 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
Well,
Tony's
look at
our
this guy. Look at this guy.
Tony's hard.
He has talked shit about Jonathan Taves.
Tony's ours. We possess him now. Tony, speaking of possessing, do you want to talk about your baseball comment from the other day, a couple weeks ago,
Which one?
about the players you had on your team?
Is he-
No.
In our fantasy,
No, think I'm good.
No,
I think I'm all right.
is he?
I'm quite swell.
A certain league
In
if
our
you will,
fantasy
Tony.
team?
What's that?
In our fantasy.
Yeah, you're in it too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your pool host.
the Bruins scored.
Marshawn shorthanded.
Tie game, right?
Tie game.
Live.
Wait, you're in the
in-person
baseball?
bowl. Yeah,
baseball
Tristan's in
we're
our
all
league.
in?
It sounds like.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. Your
Very
pool
nice.
host thinks is my team.
Oh, was that who I beat the first week?
No.
Who did I beat?
You
I
didn't
don't know.
beat
But
me.
anyways, my team, I have Miguel Cabrera on it. I'm like so awesome. I have Miguel.
Well,
his
I know that
wonderful-
Cody isn't here, but Cody's got Tim Tebow on his team.
Had Tim Tebow.
Oh, he
Oh,
had?
he dropped
Okay.
him.
He's finally
Okay.
dropped him.
Damn.
Okay. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that they called Tim Tebow up to the majors.
Oh, that's another thing, Tristan. Being that he's not here to defend himself, make fun of Cody at any moment you can this week.
Okay. I got you. I will.
My final hockey point before we move on. I know we got a lot of shows still to do. I will just say, as aggravating as the divisional playoff format for the playoffs is, at least we still have some pretty damn good matchups. But Gary Bettman, can you just go back to the old format? 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5, please, because you're going to have Tampa and Toronto face each other. The winner's most likely going to face Boston. And you've already eliminated one of the best divisions in hockey, majority of the teams, by the time the conference finals hits. It's not right. You know, you want to have your best teams play in the Final Four. And I feel like with this format, you're eliminating the better teams way too early. It's aggravating.
Josh, you never got to give a hockey point. What do you got?
Me give a hockey point.
Yeah.
Farewell to the captain. I tip my hat to him. Hopefully he doesn't play anywhere else. I got nothing. I hope the Stars lose. No, I'm just playing. I got no stock in the game.
Just the Stars.
No,
Just the Stars.
My only prediction is that the Maple Leafs are going to break Tony's heart.
That's not so much.
Again.
Like, I mean, you really reached for that pick,
Right.
But that's the thing that's really all I got in the playoffs. You know, I'm hoping to see Boston go as far as possible. You know, out of support for you, AJ. I hope the Maple Leafs do well, but I know ultimately they're going to break his heart. You know, I'm sorry, Tony. I've known you for long enough. I know that they get your hopes up, and right where you turn that corner and you start believing something might be happening, down they go. So, and that's no offense to you.
And you know what?
So,
go ahead.
As far as the Stars are concerned, I hate to say it, Tristan, I really don't know enough players on the team to really say, like, I hope they do this or I hope they do that. Like, real talk, I hope you guys go further than I do in the playoffs.
They've already done that.
Exactly. So it's a low bar with that as well. But
as soon as we got off the bus, baby.
I hope you guys are physical. I hope you guys win the games that are in front of you.
I appreciate that, Josh.
You know, ultimately, you know, you kind of saw the turn with the Hawks, and it's been a steady decline.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm hoping for the Rangers to do something for obvious reasons. It has two of my former players on there with Panarin and Patty Kane. So, I mean, I hope they do well. So, that's really all I got. I hope you guys all do well.
So, I was telling someone at league softball last night that I hope in that Tampa-Toronto series, both teams are miserable.
I don't think Tampa's going to be miserable unless they lose to us, because then they will be the humiliation of the streak, you know, ended because of them. And I already know their excuse is going to be, though they played 3 straight long years, and it's the only reason why Toronto won.
We are getting to our picks later on for the NHL. So you know, get ready for that.
I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. I told you this is
a real quick hot takey point, homer take, since I've already done a non-homer take earlier. So Brad Marchand's been getting a lot of shit on hometown radio for how he hasn't really been playing that well this season. He hasn't been himself. Let me just say, since the playoffs have started, he's always been a better playoff player than he has been regular season player. He's already got 2 goals and a shorthanded tonight to tie it. I don't care what he does in the regular season. As long as these guys show up in the playoffs, I really don't care what happens during the regular season.
You mean the 65 win all-time record regular season that you just...
Hey, I mean, I'm just saying.
The team that I am not a Bruins fan that I picked to win the Stanley Cup this year. Bruins.
And this guy got 60.
Yeah. I will just say, Josh, real quickly, if Tampa beats Toronto, be prepared to hear me go on an irate tirade about my Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'm waiting to get out of hockey because I really have very limited, especially with my team really going down the shitter, pardon my French, for the past couple years. I haven't really followed hockey all that much. I really
have. For the first overall pick. That's all I'm going to say.
Is that age, you think, Josh?
Probably, but it's also not really having anything to watch.
Yeah.
You know, we had about a good, I'd say about 10 years worth of really good hockey coming out of Chicago. And just to see, I kind of felt like it was going downhill when it was announced that Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and Corey Crawford were making like so much money that they took over like a third of the salary or of the team's budget.
Yeah.
And when you hear that, you're like, okay, cool. We locked down our stars for, you know, X amount of more years, which is good. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't allow us to build around them. And you just watched as the team just disintegrated over time. And there was nothing that anybody could do about it. We had to watch a slow death. Like I saw a quick death with my Cubs back in 21. It was quick. It was within a day. Boom, it was gone. Everybody was gone. The Blackhawks, it was like we had 10 good years, and then it was like I think like 4 or 5 years as just a slow decline, and you just watch everybody sort of disappear. And I understand the rebuilding, but when you don't have that team to follow, I'm very limited with my hockey knowledge. Don't get me wrong. Love watching players get punched in the face. That never gets old.
Nothing
Don't
gets
ever
the
take
juices
that out of
flowing
hockey.
quite like someone getting punched right in the face.
Yeah, like those boys go ham bone. So hats off to them. But I don't have the knowledge when it comes to hockey because I don't watch it as much. So I'm not gonna insult my fellow players of the podcast, and I'm not gonna insult the listeners either by trying to speak on something I have no knowledge of.
So, well, then let's speak on something that you have knowledge of, Josh. The NFL draft is coming up. Next Thursday is the first round. I just kind of wanted to go through a little more fun thing for this. Little draft preview. We kind of already know Bryce Young's going first. After that, it's a crapshoot. Who do you think your team takes? So, like, starting with me, I think the Patriots will take Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Josh, who do you think your team takes?
Jalen Carter, if he falls to 9.
Is that a Geraldo? Hang on, is that a Geraldo down there?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. That's
Yes,
so
it is.
good.
Hi, Cody. Who do you want your Eagles to take? I don't care. It could be a kicker. What the hell do I know about sports?
Well, guys,
We
I'm
locked
here
up
on-
Jalen Hurts for another multi-year deal.
I like that Bijan Robinson guy. He got the running back from the
And
Texans.
they're doing so well.
I think we're loaded. We're going to make another run for the Super Bowl.
I bet they think they are.
Great.
If we
All right,
just
that's why
had
Cody decided to come in for a minute.
if the Super Bowl was only one half, we would have won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's right.
And by the way, short tracks suck.
Yeah.
Do you like my mullet?
Bruins scored again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to something, or let's
Tyler
continue
Bertuzzi.
this.
Fucking love that guy. Tyler Bertuzzi.
Homer
Tony.
Redknapp coming up to clutch again. Yes,
Tony,
bud.
who do you see your team drafting? Who's
Well,
the
we got
name
two first rounders. Number 6, I really do not want them to take a cornerback. They've been linked to either Weatherspoon from Illinois or Gonzalez from Oregon. I don't want either one. I want Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech to get on that front line with Aiden Hutchinson and let those guys do work. I would love that at number 6. If Jalen Carter falls to 6, I would be not opposed to it, but I think things that have been talked about, I think there's a stronger chance your team might get them. But yeah, I think as long as they don't take a corner at 6, they did not learn their lesson with freaking Jeff Okudah.
Witherspoon's another one that's linked to New England, but I do think Jalen Carter falls to you guys. That's where I think he goes.
I would not mind him from a talent standpoint. And then at 18, you know what? Here's the thing with 18. If there's nobody there, trade it. Trade down a little bit more and get more draft capital. But if I had to say right now, I actually like, speaking of Georgia, I like either Nolan Smith,
Touchdown, Georgia.
who I think is just really good player, or I would take one of the wide receivers, either Quentin Johnson or the Jibba, the guy from Ohio State.
Hey. Hands off.
The Jibba?
Yeah. If any of those two at 18, I'd like to take them as another wide receiver to go with St. Brown and Jamal Williams. So I don't know, though. I think I don't know if the lines are going to be line it up and do things that make me want to throw something. But, yeah, I want them to go defense, both picks if possible. But I don't think they're going to.
So, Tristan, what do you think your suckbag franchise takes?
I think that the Cowboys are going to take our old man Honey Bijan Robinson. Okay, I hope they do. All right, but that's my pick.
I
You're
don't
going to the
think
Super
they're
Bowl, man.
actually
You're
gonna
the Dallas
pick?
Cowboys.
Because,
You're going to the Super Bowl every
An
year.
offensive tackle. I don't
because
know which one, but they're
I-
going to get some kind of lineman.
I ask you that only because, like, I know with my team, they will not pick Jackson Smith and Jigba. They just won't. That's the guy who I really want them to take with their pick. With all I know, they're going to reach on, like, a center they could have got in 3 days. Or, like, they'll be the one team who drafts Stetson Bennett in the first round.
That's
Or-
right. But you'd go
or-
flag flips. You do
We're
that.
out like a punter right now, so I'm pretty sure we would draft a punter in that spot,
I'll
knowing
take a punter
Belichick,
real
because
quick.
he is the worst
Yeah.
drafter of all time. That Belichick is the worst drafter of all time. If you look at his last like 6 or 7 first round picks, like only 2 might have been worth it and are still with the team. So his first round picks have not been good. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be probably one of the best wide receivers out of the draft, and he's going to brick it. He's going to draft like another wide receiver from Ohio State who's going to suck like he did N'Keal Harry when he grabbed the wrong quarterback or the wrong wide receiver from that school. So,
You know, the Cowboys actually do really good in the draft. I think that they are.
yeah, Zeke was pretty good.
I think Zeke was really good the first, few seasons. I really do.
I'm shocked that you guys released them.
I
I would have tried to get something for him.
I think they did that
They had to get
to
rid of him.
like him. I mean, he was a really solid player, and then he got big, and then it was just all.
He kept telling y'all that Zeke's
Yeah.
got to eat. You didn't want to listen to him.
Did his
Oh,
ego get big, or did he get big? Or they both?
He
get
got big.
big.
He got big.
Yeah, he went from like a all around beast back to a short yardage back. You don't pay short yardage back the money he was making.
Did you guys see? I was just gonna say, did you guys see that the Texans? Because we're talking about teams from Texas. Did you see the Texans are talking about trading their pick?
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
I'm okay. Hey, listen, I have a bold Texans prediction.
Oh boy, he'll be a.
I'm
Very
back.
good.
So here, bold prediction time. The Texans trade their pick down 2 spots, and they will still get Anthony Richardson. So they will not actually have to worry about it. The Colts are hell-bent on getting C.J. Stroud, is the rumor.
Okay, so let's look at this though. The Texans probably aren't going to take him, right?
Right.
Carolina's taking Bryce Young, so there's 2 picks off the board where he would not be off the board. The Cardinals aren't going to take a quarterback. They're pretty set with Kyler Murray, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he might be done with them.
Him and his Call of Duty plan.
He literally just signed a new extension, or I'd agree with you.
So then it just goes down to the Colts at 4. Like, why would you trade anything? Why would you risk capital?
Because the Colts are probably, if I'm the Texans, I'm playing chess in a sense of I'm lying to them and saying there's other phone calls. What are you going to offer us to move up 2 spots? Do you really want C.J. Stroud? You're playing the game at this
You just
point.
brought something I didn't think about, other teams calling in for that spot to get Stroud. But I mean, I don't. The Seahawks are pretty good with Geno, right?
I wouldn't say pretty good.
I
Even
mean, at
though-
5, you can get Levis or Richardson if he does end up falling that far.
At 6, the Lions aren't going to take a quarterback.
No.
As much as you'd like them to, they're not.
You know what I've been hearing is people been calling the 49ers about Trey Lance.
I heard that today too.
Oh,
Well, you have Brock Purdy, so
yeah. But
Yeah.
that
Who might
that
be
could
out for
change
the year?
That could change the dynamic.
Yeah.
They might be out
They
for
didn't
the year.
mention who was calling.
Yeah, Purdy might be out for the year. His words because of his injury. They have Sam Darnold. Ooh, come on now.
Wait,
I would keep
Brock
Trey Lance
Purdy
above.
might still be out for the this year.
Yes. It's his own words said that it's healing. I don't think it's healing as it's supposed to, so it might be out the entire season. I'd keep Trey Lance at this point. If I'm San Francisco, why are you trading him when you already have one guy potentially out and Sam Darnold's the other option? I wouldn't trade him. See what you got with the kid. Unless somebody comes at you with like a 2nd round pick in the draft. I mean, that's you're not getting a first for the guy at this point, right? Like you don't have enough criteria. But if somebody comes at you with a 2nd round pick, you might listen because San Francisco apparently can find a quarterback off the street and be decent. So I don't know, maybe.
well, Is that all of our draft talk for this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to all of our teams, and I'm sure by the next podcast we're going to yell about something we screwed up on.
Probably. All right. In the rough coming up next. Welcome back to the Gamers Do Sports podcast. In the rough, Tony, hit it in the rough sound effect for me, would you? Very good. In the rough, it's where we go over who is each person's down bad for the week. Josh, you want to start?
Yeah, sure, I'll start. But
Okay.
you gotta be a little patient with me on this one because I'm gonna read you something. Okay? Because this is the people that I got in the rough. The Shanghai Sharks overtook the Jiangsu Dragons in the last 2 minutes of a CBA playoff game on Friday after Dragons lost possession of the ball multiple times. Long story short, they allowed the team to come or score 10 unanswered points at the end of the playoff game to win by giving up the ball 5 consecutive times within like a minute. They got nailed for fixing points.
Ooh.
Yeah. They both were fined. The managers were suspended between 1 and 3 years. They got their roster budget slashed to $750,000. What else did I see? They lost draft picks. They lost a lot of stuff for this. And it put a black eye on a league that's trying to recruit, players at the end of their careers to make some money and to be a novelty game. And this right here definitely put a black eye on it. And I saw the footage and you can see the point shaving. So they are in my rough. Those two teams collectively, the Jiangsu Dragons and the Shanghai Sharks.
Very good. I did not hear about that actually, so that was pretty good. Tony, who is in your rough?
I think my rough is just as simple as all the prognosticators that want to take the Lions to take a cornerback at 6. Could you shut up? I don't want the cornerback at 6. I don't want another Jeff Okuda 2.0 situation, guys. This top cornerbacks in the league thing, would you stop with this? You got to draft a cornerback in the top tier of the draft. Has it not been proven that it's not successful most of the time? There's very rare exceptions. I get the cornerback position is important in modern football, but all I hear about is, well, the Lions have got to go get a corner at 6 because they lost Okuda. It's like, no, I'm sorry, but like at this point in time, you want to build an actual team. You start from the trenches. And all these prognosticators, all the Lions have got to get that cornerback. And it's like, no, guys, please stop. Can you not make us go same old Lions? Because that's a same old Lions move. I don't want to deal with that. If you guys all know football, you might as well do what is best for the team and team a stud defensive end to go with Aiden Hutchinson so you can get to the quarterback. Stop with the cornerback at 6 talk. I know it's a simple in the rough, but please stop with the corner at 6 for the Lions. I don't want to deal with it. No.
Very good. Tristan, who is in your rough?
I'm going to do CBS Sports for saying that the Cowboys are going to take a tight end. No, they're not going to because they don't. We have a plethora of tight ends. I'd pick somebody to tote the rock. I wouldn't pick a tight end. All I got.
You'd pick a running back?
Yes.
In a league that has like 10 running backs for every one position.
Yes. Are they quality though?
There's somebody that you can get for probably cheaper and be able to plug a different portion of your team.
Well,
I think running backs, I wouldn't waste a first round draft pick on a running back anymore. Because
I think they'll take one though.
You get like 3 years out of them most times, and it's onto something. The new way of the game is that dual threat.
I would say, Tristan, real quick, I would have you guys pick an offensive lineman. because you got to protect Dak as much
It'll
as
probably
possible.
be that. It'll probably be like a guard or something, probably.
Yeah, Osias Torrance is like the biggest
Yes.
guard that are out there. That's probably the guy
Yep.
you might be linked to. Or you'll take a tight end and be pissed off. Who knows?
We shall see.
Yes, sir.
My in the rough goes to a man who I believe has already got an in the rough on here before. Our old friend Rob Manfred.
Yep, it's the second time.
I'm going to read you a little excerpt from a little article here talking about what they're doing in the Atlantic League. Atlantic League, for those that don't know, where they try all these random ass rules that the MLB wants to change. Granted, some things came out of it that worked really well. Pitch clock, being one of them. But here we go. Beginning with its 2023 opening day on Friday, April 28th, the ALPB will feature a new designated pinch runner rule, a pitcher limit of a single disengagement per at bat, and the return of the double hook DH rule. Below is a summary of the experimental rules that will be tested to start the 2023 ALPB season. New to the Atlantic League this season will be the use of a designated pinch runner. Each club will list a player who is not otherwise in the starting lineup as a designated pinch runner. That player may then be substituted at any point into the game as a base runner. The player who is substituted for, as well as the pinch runner, may then return to the game without penalty. Number 2. Unlike the new MLB rule, which allows a pitcher to disengage from the pitching rubber twice during an at-bat, the Atlantic League test will permit only a single disengagement per at-bat in 2023. That one I actually don't mind so much. The third and final one. The ALPB will continue the use of the double hook DH rule. This is the dumbest one, which allows clubs to use the designated hitter throughout the game provided that the club's starting pitcher has completed at least 5 innings. If the starter fails to make it through the 5th, the club then loses the DH for the remainder of the game. That is hands down the dumbest bullshit I have ever heard when it comes to rule changes in baseball. What about all teams that use like an opener role where they have a guy who goes out there for the first 3 outs and they just use a bullpen game to rest some of their starters up? Why are we reinventing the wheel with baseball? You have it perfect right now. It is perfect right now. You have the shorter games, and that's why I said like the single disengagement. Like, sure, fine, whatever. Pitcher, get up on the mound and fucking throw the ball. Really, this whole pinch runner, designated pinch runner, is dumb as shit. And then this whole double hook DH is dumb as shit. I don't understand it.
I'll add one point onto your thing, and that is, do they specify, say your guy goes 2 innings and gets hurt, do you now the same issue?
Doesn't say. It's pretty cut and dry. So
right. How many times this year, even this year, I've seen guys go a couple innings pulled because of muscle cramp, pulled because of precautionary elbow issue. Like, they're not pulling guys sometimes because they want to be like strategy. It's like guys are not in April and May especially. They're not there yet.
Now let me paint.
Don't go. Go ahead.
Let me tag off that. Let me paint a picture here. Say Shohei Ohtani or Giancarlo Stanton are your DHs, and your pitcher gets hurt, like you're saying, after the first inning. Like, you don't get your star players playing in this game. Like, the whole reason why people tune in to watch is to see these big name guys who, a lot of them, are DHs a lot of the time.
And why are you going to the ballpark to see pitchers hit at this point?
How is baseball true?
The closest we'll get to actually seeing how we would do against a professional baseball player. It's a measuring example.
My whole thing is, how does baseball continue to like take 3 steps forward and then take 20 steps backwards? Like, you've had everything great with your rule changes this year. Everything has worked out phenomenally. And now we're just gonna go blow it all up and fuck it all up again. Because I'm Rob Manfred and I run baseball.
Worst commissioner in sports right now.
Agreed.
Yep.
Anybody else got anything else to add before we move on to our social media?
Well, let's not forget, we're roughly a couple weeks into baseball season, and I'm curious to see what the surprises are for you guys and what the disappointments are for you guys. Call me crazy.
Oh, you want our opinion on the
Yeah,
good and bad?
I never thought that my Cubs would be doing as well as they are. Shocking to me. Patrick Wisdom hitting 5 home runs in 4 games. What's his name? Marcus Stroman, last 4 starts have been 6+ innings with a point, I think it was 7.5 ERA. What? That's shocking to me.
Right.
Or how about can I add one more person into the rough?
Sure.
The umpire from the Dodgers-Cubs game that gave Cody Bellinger a pitch clock violation for taking a bow in front of the Dodger audience the first time he was back.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was you know what I'm talking like. Come
exactly.
on.
I saw the video of it. I'm like, that's petty.
And it wasn't even that bad. Like he didn't overextend it, but it was his first time back. I like those moments. Don't take that away.
Yeah, those moments are great, and that was totally wrong to do it in that situation. But I do love the umpires. They're just being total pricks about this whole thing. I do like that. That's awesome.
It's like
they're trying to go home.
Get to the box.
Yeah, like what did I tell you guys when these rules were first implemented? Shut up and get in the box and hit. I don't care about you adjusting your jewels. I don't care about you adjusting your batting gloves or your helmet or making sure you're holding the bat the right way. Just get in the box and fucking hit.
100%.
But let's be honest. When someone like Cody Bellinger goes back to L.A., he should be allowed a second to kind of tip his hat at the crowd.
Do I need to rewind so you can hear my first statement again?
I know. I was reiterating.
I know. I'm just saying, I just love that umpires are being total douches about it. It's great.
Biggie gets his when he's on the road, he gets his standing ovation. All right, cool. He's already ready to go.
I hope they give him a pitch clock violation.
Oh, Biggie would smile, like, go ahead, fucking call it on me. I don't give a crap.
Did you see
And yeah,
Scherzer?
Josh, my surprise is 5 in a row for my Tigers in a row to win. Now, I did lose today by 1, but they're playing competitive baseball. I can't say anything more. They're 6-10. Just enjoying the ride while it's there.
Ejected today for sticky substance.
Yeah, that he claimed was sweat and pine tar.
Oh, Max? Yeah.
Yeah, but pine tar, you can't use pine tar as a pitcher.
No, not anymore.
So, anyway.
Tristan, are you a Texas Rangers fan real quick?
I am not. I am a LA Dodgers fan.
Ugh.
And oh man, I wanted to cut out of that so quickly before you said Dodgers.
No.
Oh my god.
Yep. Big LA guy, man.
LA.
LA.
La la.
Well, actually, I'm going to change things up. I said we were going to do social media next. I think we should do the 4 next. The 4 is a fun time. So the 4.
This? We can just go, hey, social media, right? Look at our names.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, buddy.
The 4 coming up next.
Nice.
So, welcome to the 4. It's actually the 4, and the reason why we had the question mark next to the 5 is because Tony up and left us. So then we switched it to the 4, and now, ironically enough, Tony is back for a segment of the 4. The 4 this week is NFL draft bust, as in who the greatest draft bust in NFL history was, and or your team's biggest draft bust. So you give me your greatest NFL draft bust, and then you give me your team's biggest bust. Tristan, go ahead.
I'm gonna say biggest is I'm gonna say Johnny Manziel, man. Man was hype. I'm a big Manziel guy myself. Okay. And it just didn't pan out. I mean, I'm not sure if it was all that partying, all the other items he did. But yeah, I'd say biggest bust. And then for the Cowboys, I'm gonna go Taco Charlton. I'm gonna
Michigan
go
boy.
Taco.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Michigan guy. Taco Charlton. All right. You want me to go next, AJ?
Go ahead.
All right. All right. Biggest bust of all time. I got two that come to mind. Jamarcus Russell. So coming out of LSU, Jamarcus Russell had a cannon of an arm, but my man liked some scissor a little too much and did not know how to handle himself as a quarterback. Honestly, he was not a number one overall pick. He looked like more of a project when it was all said and done. He was out of football. I guess he's got his life together currently. Congrats on him. But going out of college, there's a video of him just launching a ball almost 80 yards in the air. And it was just like, holy crap, this guy could be like special, right? Well, he's a Raider. He gets into his own problems. And it just was one of those guys you just saw there was like all that talent wasted for God knows what reasons. So that's one of the big ones. And then I would say in modern times, I'm going to make fun of myself on this one. Josh Rosen, you son of a bitch. You know, I sat there and hyped you up as one of the best quarterbacks in that draft class, and your ass sucked. You were bounced around the league, and luckily you're somehow on teams and practice squads. But I believed in you, taking Arizona to the next step. And what did you do? You didn't do shit there. Then they traded you to Miami for a second chance. You didn't do shit there. Then you bounced around the league, and you still talked about wanting to be a starter. Well, you're not. And I believed that, you know, you were going to be the best in the class. So I'll take an L on that. That was one of the bigger busts, I would say, in modern times. And I would say the Lions aspect of things, where to begin. But the two that come in mind is a draft miss. Terry Fair over Randy Moss. We literally took Terry Fair, a little cornerback, over Randy Moss. Do I need to say anything more? One is an all-time great, and one is Terry Fair. And then the second one, Eric Ebron. Let me tell you, take that guy in the top 10, and that guy was Sir Drops-A-Lot. I could not stand Ebron. He thought he was the king of Twitter and going after all these Lions fans all the time, and he just kept dropping balls. The guy was an absolute bust. And the Lions were so smart, they never took a tight end in the top 10 again. Oh, wait, they did. TJ Hawkinson, which was on their team for 3 years, and then they traded him. God bless Detroit.
Josh, go ahead.
All right. Well, you did take my my top bust pick with Jamarcus Russell, but I'll go back a little further. I'm going to say Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn was hyped up to be the next Tom Brady. He had the pedigree to do something. He had the knowledge, the IQ, and came to the NFL and did diddly squat. He's better as a commentator, like Tony Romo. What?
I just didn't think he was an overly hyped pick.
Oh, they hyped the hell out of him. Coming out of Notre Dame, they hyped the hell out of him.
Oh, then never mind. I know why you picked him now.
It was all comparison to Tom Brady.
I'm your host.
He played for a horrible Browns team, though. Like, that team was...
He played for the Chiefs.
I don't know what you're talking about, Josh. I'm your host. I used to coach Notre Dame.
As far as my team, that's an easy one. It's a top there. It's a tie between Mitchell Trubisky and Kevin White.
Yes.
Came out of Virginia as his top tier wide receiver. That boy was not on the field more than like 3 games. He was terrible.
Do you remember they comped him as a top 5 wide receiver coming out of the league? Like they thought he was going to take off.
Yes.
And
he did nothing.
Yeah.
It got to the point he stopped traveling with the team. He was terrible.
I love Trubisky though. That's an all-timer.
You can have him.
That is To miss
is
out
he
on
now?
Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson for him. Oh,
and
man.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, warms your heart.
Oh, just fantastic. I remember when they drafted him, you could hear the entire city at one time go, huh? No one was expecting him. He wasn't expecting to go.
No.
It was just, and you were like, well, we suck again.
So you guys left me a big one that I'm actually surprised none of my older AARP guys here would have taken. Brian Bosworth
I was going to.
as my biggest NFL draft class. Dude was a stud in college. Absolute
Yes.
stud.
Yes.
And then he got to
was
the
going
NFL
to.
and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Didn't he have one good season?
I think he might have had one good season. I think he actually did he only play like one full season?
God. I remember he started starring in movies.
I mean, Ryan Leaf's a layup, too. I just figured that was too obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another
Or-
really big
You know
bust.
who one that's still in the league that I'm sorry, I consider a draft bust? Baker Mayfield.
You think so?
Yes.
He got a lot of hype because of how he was in Oklahoma, but I think the biggest reason why I don't put Baker on the list of some of these other guys is he's still a league. Bless you. He's still
Thank
a
you.
league quarterback in a sense of like he'll be around even as a backup for a while. So he's got some talent, but like the guys we were talking about, Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, guys like that just flamed out after a couple of years, and they were like top 3 picks. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't think Baker's special at all. But
Yeah. I how about Matt Leinart?
Hey, my Patriots one, by the way.
Yeah.
32nd overall. Nikhil Harry. Fucking sucked.
do you remember
Thanks,
why
bud.
he took him? Me and you have had this talk a lot of times. Thanks, Herm. Thanks, Herm Edwards. We're talking him up for talking.
He
to
took
Bill
the
Belichick.
wrong guy
I
from
know.
the same team.
I know. We sat there and like, wow. And they said afterwards, it's because Herm Edwards talked to Bill Belichick. This guy, Nikhil Harry's so
Blow me,
special.
Herm Edwards.
Oh, man.
Hey,
What-
Herm Edwards, is it just me or does he always look pissed off?
I mean,
Either that or he's like holding in a fart.
resting anger face? Oh.
Like he always looks
Resting
upset.
anger face.
Yeah, he plays to win the game, Josh.
Play to win the game.
so I know that it seems like I've skipped this, but I haven't. I actually had just remembered it, and then Cody didn't send me his picks, so we have our picks of the week are the NHL, and that is coming up right now.
I'm picking Dick Trickle.
There
There
you
is.
go. I was waiting for you to finally get it in there today. NHL round 1 is our picks. I will just shoot through mine, Ryan's, and Cody's. So mine go as follows: Seattle, Dallas, Vegas, the Kings, the Rangers, the Hurricanes, the Maple Leafs, and the Bruins. That one actually hurts to pick.
Are we talking series or just individual games?
Nope, just the series.
Okay.
Cody's picks are Colorado, Dallas, Vegas, the Kings, the Devils, the Hurricanes, the the Maple Leafs, and the Panthers. And Ryan's picks are Bruins, Canes, Rangers, Leafs, Avs, Jets, Stars, Oilers. Mr. Hockey, go.
Is that what I'm called? Or can I go Josh?
I can go Mr. Yoko. You take your pick.
Okay. I got Avs in 5 over Seattle. Well, they better fucking win 4 straight. I did pick the Wild over the Stars in 7. I'm sorry. I thought I did pick Dallas. No, I picked Minnesota in 7. I got Vegas in 5 over Winnipeg, which they're off to a crap start. I got the Oilers in 7 over the Kings, which, yeah, it's going to be another tough one. Rangers in 6 over the Devils. I got Carolina in 6 over the Islanders. I got the Bruins in 5 over Florida. And I do got my Toronto Maple Leafs in 7 over the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tristan, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Canes, and then Bruins, and then Dallas. I'm gonna go Oilers over the Kings. And then
No and then.
I'm gonna say Rangers. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. Sorry,
I'm not
Tony.
even gonna hate.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
Tony.
history's history. I'm not even gonna hate about it.
And then I'm gonna go Jets, and then Avs.
All right, Josh.
Yay, hockey.
Who do you have in Toronto and Tampa?
Toronto.
Attaboy. All right. That's all I care about.
I heard Dave has Toronto as well.
The hell he does. No, the hell he does not. He better be cheering for Tampa.
Okay, Josh, let's see. I'm going to pick for Josh.
All right.
Because apparently he doesn't want to pick.
Well, no, I didn't say that. Give me the matchups and I'll tell you who I have. I won't tell you how many games, but
all right. For Boston and Florida.
Boston.
For Toronto and Tampa.
Toronto.
For Carolina and the Islanders.
Islanders.
For the Devils and the Rangers.
Rangers.
For the Oilers and Kings.
Oilers.
For the Golden Knights and Jets.
Knights.
Minnesota and Dallas.
Minnesota.
Seattle and Colorado.
Colorado.
There you go. Very good. Very good. Good show, everybody.
And I don't know who's on that team, but I'm going against the Stars there, homie.
Can we throw a random fun fact I saw
Mikko
tonight?
Koivu is still on that team.
There you go.
I know it's baseball. We talked about it a touch earlier. My inside joke here is Ohtani got robbed by Aaron Judge in a home run. The real MVP robbed the fake MVP of last year, guys.
Attaboy. I like it.
There you go.
I like it. So just might as well go around with everybody giving their social media. Let's start off with our guest, Tristan. Go ahead. Thanks for coming.
Twitter here, man. I appreciate that. And then my gaming channel. It'll be Tristan WRX.
You have a WRX?
I did. I did, yeah.
Of course you did. I bet you drink Monster too.
He vapes, I guarantee it.
I'm a NOS guy. I do vape, actually.
Yeah. Color us shocked.
Yeah.
Tony, since you're technically a guest this week, go ahead.
Yes, I am. At Angry Tacos Network on the Twitter. And yeah, that's really it. That's all I got this week. I'm simple.
Josh, go ahead.
Read the handle.
Josh, go ahead.
You can find me at the GDS Josh 1, where I post what I post when I find it. Mostly retweets of what GDS puts out, but every now and then I find something humorous that I might post as well. Aside from that, Godspeed.
I'm AJ at One Lug TV. No show next week. We will be back the following week, and we should have a somewhat normal show. Thanks to Tony and Tristan for coming out and having some fun with us.
Man, appreciate you inviting me on.
Tristan, you're welcome back anytime. Tony, I'm not sure.
We'll have to talk after the show
minute.
about Tristan.
Hold on.
Him being a Dallas Stars fan, I don't know if we could have that.
Yeah, there's Tony. How you doing, pal?
Could I please come back? I want to come back.
Of course you do. And take credit for everything.
Was that a Borat impression?
That was awful. That was an awful Yoko Ono impression.
That was just wow.
I don't know Yoko Ono's voice. I'm sorry.
With that, I'm on Island Time. We'll catch you all in 2 weeks. Adios.